So what are the best navigation glasses, really? And we're going to investigate every single display and non-display navigation glasses from the cheapest to the most expensive. And we're going to talk about all the things that no one else talks about and what is actually useful when it comes to navigation glasses. But first, if you appreciate me making this video, I'm super sick right now. You can probably tell from my voice. And I still have like 3 more videos to film today. So if you appreciate that, all I ask is that you subscribe so you can see all the content that other people aren't showing you on what's actually useful. Starting at $0 to $100, and we actually have a control pair of glasses here, and that is the Get D AI glasses. Now these don't actually have navigation built into them, they're just Bluetooth audio smart AI glasses. But what you can actually do with any pair of audio glasses that you own, whether they're $10 or $1,000, is go ahead and ask Siri or Google to navigate you somewhere. And as long as you have the listen when phone is locked feature turned on your phone, which I have a tutorial for in another video, it will give you audio directions to wherever you're headed. Hey Siri, take me to grocery outlet.
Getting directions to grocery outlet bargain market.
So really, if you have a dedicated pair of AI glasses with a display or without, with navigation, it needs to be better than that, than this control that we have. So for $69, you're getting a pair of smart glasses with no display, which means the visibility score, one of the metrics we're using in this video, is going to be 1 out of 5, the lowest that it can be because there's no display. Next up, we have reliability. So because this method relies on Google Maps or Apple Maps, whichever you have set to your default, and it's going to use the tracking from your phone to determine which direction you're facing and all of that, the reliability is actually going to be the top score of 5 because Google and Apple Maps are pretty dang reliable when it comes to getting audio directions for places. Up next, we have comprehensiveness, which is basically which if you didn't know, a lot of navigation smart glasses only let you navigate under a restricted set of circumstances. For instance, some might not support all areas, some might not support driving, maybe either only walking or cycling, and some might not have any audio built into the glasses at all, so it's just visual. So for the $69 Get D glasses, there's no restrictions on the area you're in or whether it's walking, biking, driving. You can do all of those. And you're obviously only going to get an audio response, so there's no problem with there being no speakers in the glasses. So for the comprehensiveness, we're going to give it a 4, just because there's no display still. Next is the ease of use. So a lot of smart glasses with built-in navigation are actually harder to use than people will actually tell you in reviews. You'd think you can activate all of them with your voice or by using touch controls on the glasses, but you can't. Some of the most popular display glasses, you actually have to just enter all the navigation stuff into your phone before you can even see them in the glasses. And that's an important ease of use factor. So for the ease of use for the $69 Get D glasses, luckily for us, it is going to be pretty easy to activate with just our voice as long as your phone is in range with the microphone. Then it's going to play the Bluetooth audio through your smart glasses, so it's actually pretty easy to use. You just say, hey Siri, navigate me to this place, or hey Google, navigate me to this place, and it will do all of that without you having to pull out your phone or anything. That being said, because there's no display, you're not getting anything like categories or things that make it a little bit easier to use, and you have to use your voice. You can't use any touch controls or a ring or anything like that. So because of that, the ease of use score for the Get D glasses for navigation is going to be a 3. The next category is the usefulness of the HUD. So the actual elements displayed on the screen, whether it's when you're going to make a turn, what time you're going to arrive, whether or not it has head tracking. And the HUD usefulness, obviously, for the $69 glasses is going to be a 1 out of 5 because there is no heads-up display. Next up is the score for the bonus feature. So this is just a little add-on that will make the glasses a little bit better. And that's all the other features that it might have on top of navigation, determining whether the glasses as a whole are more useful. So the Get D glasses are going to have live translation, they're going to have AI, so you can ask questions, but no look and ask because there's no camera. You're also going to be able to listen to music, take calls, and a couple other little things, but overall, no crazy cool display features, and again, no camera. So the bonus feature score for this glasses, being at the cheapest price point, is going to be a 2. Finally, the battery score. And these Get D glasses have a battery life of 15 hours. So that's a pretty freaking high battery life. So it's going to be a score of 5 for the battery for these glasses with just the control built in navigation from your phone that you activate with your voice. So that's going to give us an overall navigation glasses score of 21 points out of a possible total of 35, which is just above 60% out of 100. So still useful, but not a crazy amount of usefulness at this price point just yet. Up next is the $100 to $300 price point, and here we're gonna have for $279 the Rokid AI glasses style. Now this is a bit different than the Get D AI glasses because this actually comes with built-in navigation. Still no screen, but you can ask Rokid for directions rather than having to do the third-party Siri or Google trick that you have to do with that first pair. But the visibility score with no display, again, is going to be 1 out of 5 because there's no display. But what about the reliability? So the Rokid AI glasses style actually uses Google Maps for their navigation built in. So when you're saying, hey Rokid, give me directions to here, it's actually doing it through Google Maps, which is pretty dang good and comprehensive. I would argue better than Apple Maps, and just in general, really good map service. Wide area of coverage, basically everywhere, super reliable. But with the Rokid AI glasses style, you're not getting things like SLAM tracking, which basically is sort of an advanced AR/XR glasses feature that allows them to know exactly which way your head is facing at all times in a 3D space. So you're not going to get the mini-map turning with your whole head like you would in some more advanced glasses in this video. So overall, that's going to be a reliability score of 4 because again, it is still using Google Maps and it is very reliable. Wide coverage for basically being able to navigate anywhere in the world, but -1 point for no head tracking. Up next is comprehensiveness. And this is actually an area where the Rokid AI glasses style kind of surpassed with the exception of one other glasses in this video, every other glasses with navigation, and that is going to be in the methods of transportation. So in the actual Rokid app, you can set it to default to walking directions, cycling directions, or even driving directions. Now this is in beta and it's not recommended that you actually use this too heavily while driving, but you can actually set driving directions, which is really, really cool. Maybe you're the passenger in the car and you can just see all of them without having to pull out your phone, which is really, really cool. And you're gonna get audio feedback in addition to that visual feedback. And with all that stuff and including driving directions as well, that's gonna be a comprehensiveness score of 5 out of 5. Up next is the ease of use. So luckily for us, this is one of the products that does not require you to open your phone and to search in a destination in their app in order to actually get the navigation audio instructions. You can do that if you want to, but you can also just ask Rokid for directions to a specific place using only your voice. Don't have to pull out your phone at all, and it will get you directions to there. Hey Rokid, take me to grocery outlet.
Head toward Desert View Road.
That being said, there obviously is no display, so you can't really activate it with touch controls, so it's not going to be a full 5. But as a bonus, you can set your favorites within the Rokid app, so you can say navigate to home or work pretty dang easily, just using audio, which is pretty cool. But since there's no touch navigation activation through the glasses, it's going to be a score of 4 out of 5. Up next, the HUD usefulness. So the map overlay. Again, there's no display in this pair of glasses, so that's going to be a 1 out of 5. Now for bonus features, we are actually getting 89 languages of live translation, listen to music, take calls, and it has a really good camera with a vertical or horizontal aspect ratio with a 10-minute record limit. And you can also do audio recordings for meetings and stuff like that. So those are pretty good features, but again, still no cool display features, so it's going to be a 3 out of 5 for the bonus features. For battery life, the Rokid AI glasses style is going to have 12 hours, which is a really, really good battery life for smart glasses. So that's going to be a 5 points. So that's going to be 5 out of 5 points for battery life, leading to a total of 23 points for the navigation score of the Rokid AI glasses style, just 2 points better than the $69 glasses, but still a decent noticeable improvement. But nothing huge, as we're about to see with the next one. And that is at the $300 to $500 price point. So at $449 with the discount right now, that's going to be the Inmo Go 3. This is the world's cheapest dual display navigation glasses. So what do these have to offer? We're finally going to get a visibility score. So they're going to have 1500 nits of brightness, which is nice and bright for outdoor use, but it could theoretically still be brighter than that. But you can see it outdoors, but if it's really, really sunny and harsh, it'll just be a little bit more difficult to make it out, but you can technically still see it. The field of view on them is going to be 30 degrees, which I'm just going to tell you right now is the widest field of view we have in this entire video. It's tied with a couple other ones, but 30 degrees field of view. If you're coming from the world of AR glasses, that might seem small to you, but as far as display transparent lens glasses, that's actually enormous. Because the Meta display glasses, for instance, only have a 20-degree field of view, which is 50% less wide than these at $449, almost half the price. So for navigation glasses, that's actually really good. On top of that, it's going to have 2 screens instead of 1, which is going to dramatically improve the clarity of the glasses and reduce headaches, literally. Now it is going to be monochrome green rather than full color, which is pretty normal at this price point. And only because of that component, it's going to have a visibility score of 4 out of 5 instead of 5 because it's not full color, which would obviously help you to distinguish different map elements. Up next is reliability. Now it's using something called Here Maps as its source for maps navigation, but it does still run everywhere. It probably is based off Google anyways, since they are letting you use Gemini for their AI in their glasses. And it is pretty decent accuracy, but there's no SLAM integration, so there's not going to be any good head tracking, meaning like the mini map turning with you as you're going around, but it is still pretty easy to follow. So it's going to be a reliability score of 4 out of 5 since they're not getting that good head tracking. But you can still use the maps basically everywhere as far as service of coverage. For the comprehensiveness, you're going to be able to use this navigation for cycling or walking, but no driving like the previous Rokit AI glasses style. And you're going to have audio assistance for that navigation too, not just the visuals. So the comprehensiveness score for these for navigation is going to be a 4 out of 5. Up next is going to be the ease of use. So the navigation is great, it works really well, has cool elements on screen, but as for right now, it is going to require you to initiate the navigation through having to pull out your phone. You can't just ask InMo to navigate you somewhere and it will just take you there. You have to put the directions into your phone and then it will pop up in your glasses and you can put your phone away after that. So because of that, it's going to be a ease of use score of 3 out of 5 because there is no hands-free way to activate that initial navigation step. Up next is the HUD usefulness score. So this is the part where I'm going to tell you about all the elements it actually shows you in the maps navigation when you are navigating somewhere. So it's going to show you the direction of your next turn, the distance to that next turn, and its street name. It's also going to tell you the total remaining distance to your destination, the total remaining time to your destination, and your estimated time of arrival, your ETA. It's also going to tell you the current time right now, the battery life of the glasses, and you're obviously going to get a little mini map as well to round out that HUD navigation. Now this is pretty dang good. All those things are really useful, but it is lacking that head movement follow when you move your head to tell you exactly precisely what direction to turn before you actually start walking. So because of that, it's going to get a 4 out of 5 rather than a 5 in that category for the heads-up display usefulness. Up next is bonus features. So this is going to have a good amount of live translation, definitely more than Meta's glasses, AI through Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever you would like, and you're going to get Look and Ask AI too because it is going to have a camera that's going to record at 1080p, but right now with a max limit of 60 seconds for recording each clip. But you're also going to get a teleprompter, subtitles, and the coolest thing that's not in any of the glasses in this video, which is a swappable battery, basically meaning these things will last forever with this little AirPods-like case. You can just swap out the battery after its full day of battery life, and it will literally just last forever with this really cool system. So obviously the bonus features category is going to get a score of 5 out of 5. And the battery life is going to be 8 hours for each of those batteries. But again, you can just keep swapping them, putting the other one in the charging case for the battery, and it's basically just going to last forever. So the battery life is going to get a score of 5 out of 5, leading to a total of 29 points. Quite a big jump up from the Rokit AI glasses style because you are getting actual display for the navigation, which is just hugely useful. 29 out of 35. But will the next product beat it? And that's going to be from the price of $500 to $600. And I was going to put the Even G2 here, but it turns out those actually end up costing more after you get the ring and those basically no-brainer accessories. So that's actually going to be later in the list in this video. But for right now, at $599, we have the Rokit display glasses. So these are going to have a brightness of 1500 nits, exactly the same as the InMo Go 3 for identical visibility in outdoor conditions. Again, pretty dang good outdoor visibility. Unless it's really, really bright, then it's just going to be a little bit hard to see. but you can still see it. The field of view though is going to be down to 23 degrees, which is a step down from the InMode Go 3s, but it's still pretty big when I look through them. I don't know why. The InMode Go 3s do have this tendency to sort of fade out the edges of the frames. That 30 degrees might be a tiny bit of an exaggeration, whereas with the Roku glasses, you are getting the full 23 degrees. The edges of it aren't blurred out or anything. And that's still 3 degrees wider than the Meta Display's field of view. And you're getting 2 displays instead of 1, which is making it a good amount clearer, just like with this InMode Go 3s. And it's also going to be monochrome green for the color, just like the InMode Go 3s. But because it is a smaller field of view, 23 versus the 30 of the InMode Go 3, the visibility score for the display is going to be 3.5 out of 5 instead of anything higher. Now up next is the reliability of the Maps navigation. So it is Roku glasses and they are going to be using Google Maps for their navigation. So it's going to be pretty dang reliable, extremely wide service for their coverage area, basically everywhere. And again, decent accuracy when actually navigating, but you're still not getting that slam head tracking to follow your every head movement for exactly what direction you're facing. Although once you actually get moving, it follows that pretty well for the navigation. But without that exact head tracking, it's going to be a score of 4 out of 5 for the reliability of the navigation. Up next is the comprehensiveness. And again, the Roku glasses are getting walking, cycling, and driving. So comprehensiveness is great there, and you're getting audio directions as well as visual if you want to turn that on too. So that's going to give this a comprehensiveness score for the navigation of 5 out of 5, which is pretty freaking great. And you're getting the display, so even better than the comprehensiveness of the AI glasses style earlier. Up next is the ease of use of the navigation. So do these require you to pull out your phone, tap in the destination to actually pull it up on the glasses? And luckily the answer is no. You can do that if you would like to, but you could also ask Roku to navigate you somewhere with your voice and then get those directions right away through the glasses without having to pull out your phone at all, and getting it in full display quality. Plus, you can add in your favorites, your home and work address. So you can say, take me home or take me to my workplace, and it will get there really easily without you having to say the exact address of that location. But it doesn't have any cool categories or anything like that. So just gonna miss the 5 points. It's gonna be 4.5 points for the ease of use. So it's pretty freaking good for how easy it is to start navigation without needing your phone in your hand to tap anything in at all, and having the default set for your home and your work. Okay, next is the HUD usefulness score. So in the actual heads-up display for the Roku display glasses, and this is when it's set to driving, you're actually going to get the current speed you're driving in the display, which is really cool. Your estimated time of arrival, the distance to your next turn, the street name you're turning on, the battery life with the actual percentage number, unlike the InMode Go 3s, the current time, an icon of how you're traveling, so in this case a car, and obviously the mini map. And those are pretty dang good. The only thing missing is that really fast head tracking, but I mean if you were driving a car, it's going to get that from the distance you're traveling very easily. So still not a perfect 5 because you're not getting the head tracking. So we're going to give it a 4 out of 5 for the HUD usefulness. Up next is the bonus features score. So for the Roku display glasses, you're getting 89 languages of live translation, AI, normal, and look and ask from either Gemini or ChatGPT, depending on your preference. You can listen to music, see the progress of your song and the title and the artist name. You can use a teleprompter, get live subtitles, and it has a great camera with a 10-minute recording limit in either horizontal or vertical, whatever you choose. And the stabilization is pretty good too, and you're getting that audio / meeting recording. So bonus features, they're all great. It's going to be a score of 5 for bonus feature score. Next is battery life. So it's going to be 8 hours of battery life for the Roku display glasses, which is pretty good, but it's not crazy like the InMode Go 3 with the swappable batteries or the 15-hour battery life of the $69 ones. So it's just going to be a 4 out of 5 for the battery life, which brings the total for the Roku glasses to 30 out of 35 total points, which is 1 point greater than the InMode Go 3. Basically coming down to the fact that you can start the navigation with your voice without having to type it into your phone, which could be something that the InMode Go 3s add when they launch, but right now it's not there yet. Up next is the $600 to $800 price point. This is going to be the most talked about display glasses of the last 6 months, and that's for $799, the Meta display glasses. So first is the visibility score. So the nits is actually going to be the highest out of the glasses we've talked about so far, and that's going to be 5,000 nits of peak brightness for the Meta display glasses. But that is severely handicapped by 2 things. Number one has a 20-degree field of view, which is the smallest field of view out of any of the glasses in this video, 50% smaller than the $449 InMode Go 3s for nearly half the price. And to top it all off, it's the only pair of display glasses in this video with only one screen display instead of two, meaning it's going to give you a lot more headaches, and it's just generally not going to be good visual quality because only one of your eyes can focus on it instead of two. But you are getting full color, and the rest of the ones in this video so far have only been in monochrome green. So a lot to go over. Basically every high point that they reached a new low point compared to all the other glasses in this video too. So we're just gonna give it a down the middle score of 2.5 out of 5 for the visibility. Next is the reliability score. So for their map service, Meta is actually doing their own thing that they're building from scratch. So it's basically Meta Maps, if you want to call it that. I tested these months after release and still didn't have it in the capital city of Oregon, Salem, whatsoever. They didn't have it in Portland when I tested it there, which is a huge city. It's the biggest city in Oregon. So basically the coverage sucks, does not go everywhere, and that's just what it is because they don't want to collaborate with Google or another map service. But you do get the arrow that sort of tracks your head movements. It doesn't have SLAM, but it's still decently accurate. But overall, because the reliability of the actual maps service that they're using is not good, does not extend out past the city limits, it's gonna have to be a 2 for the actual reliability of the maps, which is really sad, especially at this price point. But can they make up for it in the comprehensiveness of the navigation? So you're gonna get walking and cycling directions, no driving or anything like that, but you do get audio directions as well. So the comprehensiveness will be a 4 out of 5, bringing it up just a little bit. Up next is the ease of use, and this is finally a category where Meta seems to dominate, and that is going to be because of the hand tracking built in, so where you can activate and sort of go to the destination of your choice, honestly without saying a word if you just go to categories and select on a place in your local area. Again, if they actually have maps in your area, which they probably won't, but it is easy to use it if you happen to be like in San Francisco or New York or LA. So you're able to use hand tracking to get there and then even voice dictation to go to a specific place. And there are plenty of categories to sort of help you see different places in your area that you might want to go to if you don't know exactly where you want to go or exactly which restaurant yet. So the ease of use is gonna get a 5. Up next is the HUD usefulness score, so the usefulness of what's actually displayed to you when you're navigating to places. And from what I've seen and from what I've tested in the app myself, what you're actually getting here displayed is gonna be the time that will take before you get to that place, your distance before arrival, and you're getting more of an overhead mini-map, but you still have the arrow for yourself that shows which way your head is basically facing, even without that SLAM tracking. But you're getting nowhere near as much of the bonus info you're getting from the other maps in the other navigation glasses in this video. And on top of that, it supports such little locations. Again, that's just going to be the biggest handicap for the navigation here, making it look really cool where it works, but it does not really work in many places, and it doesn't show you as much useful info as the other apps, even though you do get that cool sort of head tracking effect. So for the HUD usefulness, it's only going to be a 2 out of 5. Now for bonus features, you're getting some cool things, but compared to all the features you get in the other glasses, it's actually not as much. Now they have added this with some recent updates, but you're getting a small handful of languages of live translation. You can listen to music, make calls, get live subtitles. You're getting a vertical 1080p camera with a pretty short recording limit, and you can watch Instagram Reels, send WhatsApp messages. But overall, it's still pretty underwhelming compared to some of the other features we get in a lot of other display glasses, like heads-up display of different news stories or stocks or like all these other sorts of things. So the bonus features category is just gonna get a score of 3. Up next is the battery life. These are gonna have 6 hours of battery life, which is the second shortest in this whole video. And there's not really a way to charge them while you're wearing them, which is going to limit that a lot, and so that's just going to be a battery life score of 3. You can do a total of 21.5 points out of 35, which is better than the $69 glasses for their maps navigation somehow, but still the second worst in this video. But can the next glasses beat it? Hopefully, by paying a little bit more. That's right, the next category is $800 to $1,000, and here we're going to have for $999, including the health tracking ring, for touch controls and the clip-ons. No prescription, at least with the one I got. That's going to be $999 for the Even Realities G2, so the Even G2 glasses. And I've been testing these out for about a week now. Completely separate video coming on that soon, if it hasn't released already. But in this video, we're just talking about the navigation of these glasses. Starting off with the visibility score. So these glasses are going to have 1200 nits of brightness, which is actually the lowest brightness out of all the glasses in this video. Second lowest is going to be that 1500. So only 1200 nits. Luckily, this is saved by actually getting that extra clip-on attachment, which is why I included it in the price. So you're getting the sunshades, and that actually does that extra bit of work to actually let you see them outside. When it's at full brightness and it's a pretty sunny day, sunshades are going to help a lot. It's still lower nits of brightness, so if you don't have the sunshades, it's going to be the least visible outside. So definitely get the sunshade clip-ons if you plan on navigating outside. Now the field of view is going to be 27.5 degrees, which is more than the Roku display glasses, but less than the InMode Go 3 and the next pair of glasses I'm going to show in this video. Pretty wide, pretty good, but it's not the biggest field of view. But luckily you are getting 2 screens for a dual display instead of 1 like the Meta displays. Unluckily, it's going to be monochrome green even at this high price point. But overall, the visibility score is still going to be a 4, honestly just saved by those clip-ons and the fact that it has a bit wider of a field of view than the Roku glasses. Now on the actual Even G2 website, for their Maps service, all it says is works wherever Google Maps does, which you would think would mean that they use Google Maps as their backend, but it's not clear and it sounds like some clever language that they'd use if they don't actually use Google Maps. Couldn't actually find any info on that, but it does work everywhere basically. And another interesting thing I noticed is even though this doesn't have SLAM for head tracking, you are actually getting real updates for which direction your head is facing. They somehow managed to do that like the Meta display glasses, which is a really cool added bonus feature to make the navigation just a little bit more useful. So the reliability is going to have a score of 4.5, almost a perfect reliability score, but there is still one better. Up next is going to be the comprehensiveness. So for the navigation, you're going to be able to do walking or biking directions. So you're still not getting driving with these like the Roku display glasses. And to top that all off, you're also not getting any audio. There's no speakers in these glasses whatsoever. So you're not going to get any audio aids if you happen to not be looking at the directions when you get to a turn, leading to a comprehensiveness score of 3.5. Up next is going to be the ease of use score for the Even G2s for their navigation. Now, unfortunately, this is actually one of the pairs of glasses that people don't tell you actually requires you to search what you're navigating to in your phone from their app. You can't do it via voice activation or through any ring controls unless you set it as one of your favorite locations. So something like your home or your work or something that you set to your favorite, maybe your favorite restaurant, then you can navigate to there easily without having to say anything just by doing it through the glasses. But anywhere else that you're ever going to, you do need to type it into your phone, which is a real shame because that would be a really nice feature to just be able to navigate to a place without having to pull out your phone in the first place just to get it on your glasses. So that is something that not a lot of people are going to tell you. But you are still getting some cool functionality in the actual app itself and like showing you different categories for things like that. But that being said, still does cut down on the ease of use. So it's going to be a score of 3.5 out of 5. Up next is going to be the HUD usefulness score. So how useful is the heads-up display for navigation specifically in the Even G2s? So on the heads-up display, when you're navigating, it's going to tell you the current time. It's going to show you a icon for whether you're walking or cycling for your directions. It's going to show you the distance to destination, time until arrival, the distance to your next turn, the next turn direction, the street name of that turn, and a mini map with pretty accurate head tracking. So it's not going to be smooth head tracking, but it is going to snap to the different positions as you look around pretty accurately, even without that SLAM tracking, which is something we haven't seen in any of the glasses besides the Meta displays at this point, meaning the HUD usefulness score is actually going to be the highest so far at 4.5 out of 5, but not the highest yet. Up next is going to be the bonus features. So you're kind of getting some different ones with the Even G2s. Honestly, pretty similar to the Memo Mind glasses coming out soon, but that's for another video. So you're getting translation, you're getting AI through Even AI. There's no music or calling now, but you're getting the cool display features like a teleprompter, and you get other cool things like news stories that you can even read through from tapping on your ring that pop up based on your preferences for the overarching category, like tech, for instance. You also get notifications on these, and you can even set up your favorite stocks so you can see the daily charts of those, and other things like to-dos, things like that. And then obviously you're getting the coolest feature, which is the Conversate feature. Pretty dang useful, but not as useful as people make it seem, which I'll show in the review video. But overall, honestly, those are still really cool bonus features. So even though it has no music or calls, it makes up for it in having other display features that none of the other glasses in this video have. The only one that I found that has similar ones is the MemoMind glasses, and those aren't out yet. And yeah, those are supposed to have navigation too. But for bonus features, it's gonna get a score of 5 for the Even G2s. Up next is the battery life score. So it says the Even G2 gets 2 days of battery life, which is pretty crazy. User-reported data shows that after a 12-hour day, it's down to 30%. So it's probably something like 16 or 18 hours of battery life, if you're looking at an exact number. But that's still insane battery life, only really comparable to the hot swappable battery of the InMode Go 3s. So it's gonna be a battery score of 5 points out of 5, leading to a grand total of 30 points for the Even G2 for the navigation usefulness, tying its navigation score with the Roku display, with each of them being a little bit better in their own ways. But is there one Maps navigation that's better than all of these? If so, it would be in the $1,000 to $1,500 price point. This product ranges in price depending on different discounts and things, but right now it is going to be $1,299. And that is the Ray Neo X3 Pro glasses. How does the HUD display navigation in these glasses at the most expensive price point stack up? Starting with the visibility score. So first, it's going to have 6,000 nits of brightness, which is tied for the Meta displays in their overall brightness. But as with the Meta displays only having one lens display instead of two, that 6,000 was kind of mute since it would give you headaches and just not be that clear since there was only one display in those Meta glasses. But luckily for us, these have 2 display lenses, and they're going to be in full color, and it's going to have a 30-degree field of view, which is the largest in this video, tied with the InMode Go 3. But what I've noticed is that 30 degrees is actually fully accurate, whereas with the InMode Go 3s, you can tend to cut off a little bit of the sides depending on which way you're looking. So that 30 degrees is a little bit stretched on the InMode Go 3s, whereas it's not stretched and it's an accurate measurement on the Ray Neo X3 Pros. Again, 30 degrees field of view doesn't sound huge if you're in AR glasses, but for display, clear lens navigation glasses, that is the biggest that they have in the field, and it's pretty dang nice. So that's obviously going to be the best visibility out of everything in this video with the biggest field of view, the highest brightness, and dual display and full color. The only thing in this video with the best of everything as far as visibility is concerned. So the visibility score is going to be 5 out of 5. Up next is the reliability for the navigation for the Ray Neo X3 Pros. So it says it's using some form of HERE navigation. Great coverage for maps, basically works everywhere. I'm willing to bet it probably has something to do with some sort of, maybe a Google collab for Google Maps, maybe not. But I've heard from some insiders that when you use Gemini in your glasses, they kind of make you use Google Maps in their other services. So it's pretty likely that that might be happening on the back end anyways. But great coverage all around, even works here in the middle of nowhere, which would tie it up with the other glasses for the reliability score. However, it actually does have 60OF and SLAM head tracking. So you're getting live and complete seamless head tracking. It doesn't snap to different positions like the Even G2s. It doesn't just not have head tracking like the InMode Go 3s, for instance. And even though the Meta's one looks smooth, this one actually has real SLAM hardware. And as you'll see in the display later in this video, it actually will show you a full compass and tell you exactly which direction to go and which direction to turn your head to get to your destination. Way more in depth than any of the other navigation in this video, meaning the reliability score is going to be a 5 out of 5. As for the comprehensiveness score, you're going to be able to get directions walking or cycling, but not driving. But you are still getting audio navigation as well, in addition to the visuals, unlike the Even G2s with no speakers. But because you're not getting driving directions like you could with the Roku display glasses, it's just going to be a score of 4 out of 5 for the comprehensiveness score for the navigation. Up next is ease of use. So it's really easy to swipe over to the Maps tab in your glasses, tap on that, and then you can just do voice to search very easily. You could go in the app and do it all by hand, search a destination, but you don't have to at all. You can do it all just with your glasses, with your phone in your pocket, and then fully get and enter the navigation to whatever destination that you want. It's also going to give you a list of possible prompts to sort of jumpstart your thinking. So you can just ask for restaurants near you or for cafes near you, and it will show you a variety of options in this sort of list format, which then you can choose from. Say you want to go to a restaurant, you say, show me restaurants in my area, it shows all of them, you pick one to navigate to, then it's going to ask you what route you want to take. And you can also specify earlier in this whether you want specifically walking or cycling. But yeah, even when you get to a destination, after one that you've picked or searched for with your voice, with this full color display, then you can actually pick which route you want to take. So if you want to avoid a certain road, you can do that with the glasses, never have to pull out your phone throughout this whole process, leading to an ease of use score of 5 out of 5. It's honestly really great. It's what the Meta Display glasses could be if they actually used a good maps provider with wide coverage and had 2 displays and a 50% bigger field of view. Which then brings me to the most exciting score part, which is going to be the HUD usefulness score. So how useful is the actual heads-up display when it comes to the Rayneo X3 Pro with that SLAM head tracking? So you're going to get a full compass, which is going to tell you exactly which direction you're facing. North, east, southwest, and every single increment in between. It's going to give you all this info fully live. It's also going to tell you exactly which direction to look. So if you're looking the wrong way for which direction you should be walking, it'll tell you to turn towards your left or turn towards your right, look behind you, whatever it is. Once you're looking the exact right direction for the way you need to walk, it's going to show live moving arrows basically on the ground in front of you, showing you which direction to go, sort of in an AR fashion. It's going to tell you the distance that you need to go that direction and your next turn. It's going to show you your distance to the final destination and your estimated arrival time, which I think is pretty important to have since some glasses in this video didn't show your ETA, but rather just the total time to your destination. I mean, obviously it's good to have both, but I think your estimated arrival time is better to see if you're early or late to something. But crazy full compass integration and that moving arrow thing on the ground telling you when you're looking the right direction and that full guide, you really can't get lost with these, which is so nice. So the HUD usefulness score for this navigation for these glasses is going to be a 5 out of 5. Up next is the bonus features. So we got quite a big list here. You're getting live translation, AI through Gemini. You can listen to music, make calls, use a teleprompter, get live subtitles. It actually has a pretty good vertical camera, 1080p with 9-minute recording limit. And they also just added an update with 3K 30 for 60 seconds. You get audio recording, to-dos, notifications. You can sync contacts, so you can just make calls straight from the glasses without having to say anything towards whatever contact you want. And you can even sideload some Android apps, which is really cool. So the bonus features, no surprise, is going to get a score of 5 out of 5. Finally, we have the battery score. So these glasses are actually only going to last about 45 minutes to an hour when they're in active use, which is horrible battery life, but they charge via USB-C and you can easily use them while charging them, like would with AR glasses, only these ones look a lot more normal and are clear. So you can essentially use them forever if you're willing to have a cord coming out down the back of your neck to like sort of a power bank in your pocket or whatever it is. That really is the only big downside to the Rayneo X3 Pros other than the price. But when you look at all this data and you sum up the score for the Rayneo X3 Pros for navigation, it's going to be 32 out of 35 points. 2 higher than the Roku glasses and the even G2s, and definitely by far the most useful as far as not getting lost if you're somewhere like downtown New York. So when you look at all these, what is actually the best navigation glasses to buy? Well, it depends on a couple things. One obviously is going to be your price range. If you can't afford $1,300 for the Rayneo X3 Pro, that's not going to be the best for you. The even G2, I would say, this is the thing that really handicaps it, is the fact that you have to type in the directions into your phone. That really cuts down on the ease of use, in my opinion. With the Roku glasses, the display ones, you can start navigation with just your voice. The only thing I wish that had is a more accurate, full live head tracking right when you're turning, like the even G2s have been able to sort of simulate and get different snapping points while you're turning. If I could get some combination of both those glasses, that would be perfect for a lower price range. But with the even G2s, you're going to want to get the Ring and you're going to want to get the sunshades since the brightness is the lowest out of all the glasses in this video. So that's going to end up costing you $1,000. So really, if you want good navigation that's easy to use, you can do it with your voice, and you can even get driving navigation, the Roku glasses are really the only thing less than $1,000 that's going to get you that good navigation, good ease of use with your voice, not having to type into your phone, and actually get you driving direction. But even those, after like a year or so, might have a cost associated with that AR fancy navigation. So this really is not an easy question to answer. If I was to say the actual best navigation glasses out of everything out there right now, from all the smart glasses testing I've done, it's gonna be the Ray Neo X3 Pros. You can do all of it with your voice. You can see suggested places in your areas. You can choose from multiple different ones, choose from multiple different routes, and navigate with a full compass telling you exactly where to go so that you don't get lost without ever having to pull out your phone. And it's in full color, and it's the brightest, and it has the widest field of view. As long as you plug those in with a USB-C into like a power bank, those are the best for navigation, with the Even G2s and Roku displays sort of tied for second in their own unique ways. They both scored 30 points. But which glasses would you use for navigation? What features do you think they are missing? And what's your favorite glasses for navigation, personally, if you've ever used them? And do you even think it's ready yet, as it stands right now for actually being useful, when not even Meta can fully get it right with only having one display and not having the navigation work in most places anywhere? It seems like it's more complicated to make good maps navigation than you'd think, but that has been the best navigation glasses for everyone at every price point. Let me know what else you want to compare between all the different smart glasses. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.